Hi everyone, how are you? I am hoping that this is working. So just give me a second. I told you I would jump in today and answer some of your questions about Take Charge of Your Life, the Mastermind and Accountability Group. So I want to make sure that this is recording. All right. So, hi, how are you? I'm Jen McKinnon and I'm so glad that you can join me today. I wanted to talk about the new mastermind and accountability group that I have open right now. I have some questions for you though. Hi. I wanted to know, do you ever feel like there is just way too much on your plate? That you have to be and do all the things. And then at the end of the night, you lay in bed and you're running through this mental list of everything that you either should have gotten done or didn't get done. And you feel guilty about that. You know you should be looking after yourself, but you're not. And you're wondering, how can you get all these things done? My goal in life is to help working moms that homeschool manage their home, their homeschool, and their life. And the problem with that is that we have so many parts of our life, right? So let's think about this. We have work and all that entails. And it's really funny because we put this little 4-letter word on it, work. But it's not a small thing, right? It's a massive part of our life. Some of us work outside the home. Some of us work at home. And if you're crazy like me, you do both. So you have a boss and you have clients and you have projects and you have tasks. And sometimes you don't even know how to do those projects and tasks. So then you have to learn about those projects and tasks, right? So you have to self-educate yourself. You have to find the time to learn. You have to find the time to do the projects. And so work is actually this massive topic and it has so many needs. Okay, so that's one. Then we have homeschooling. So if you had to list your biggest challenge with homeschooling, what would it be? Is it finding the curriculum that suits your kids? Is it finding the time to teach? Is it trying to figure out your child's learning style? Is it trying to find the right program? Is it trying to figure out what method suits you best, right? There's so much involved. We say homeschooling, but it's, again, a massive project. And that's just 2 areas. That's not including meal planning. That's not including keeping control of our house, getting the house clean. It's not including, grocery shopping and errands and doctor's appointments and parenting. We have so much. And so for a long time, I tried really hard to help everybody with all the things. And what I succeeded in doing is confusing all of you and driving myself crazy. So recently I sent out a survey to those of you on my email list, and I got a lot of good feedback. And it's really important, I've been running polls here in the group. I've been asking you guys, what do you need help with the most? What's the best way to get this help to you? Because like our kids, we all learn differently. Some of us, we want to read and that's good enough. Some of us, we want to read and we need to watch videos. Some of us, we need to hear things like our kids. And then we only have so much time. So I have actually been sitting on this idea for a really long time. And I wasn't really sure if it's something, I really wanted to make sure it was something that you guys could use. And so the results from the survey and the polls were that you needed help with time management and finding balance. That is what 99% of the people are saying when they come into our group and they join our group. I ask questions. And one of the questions I ask is, what do you need help with the most right now? And I would say 9 times out of 10, it's always finding balance. How can I find time to get my work done? How can I find time to do this? Because we have so many things on our list. So I've been focusing and pulling all my tips and tricks. And if you've been on this site, on my blog, you'll notice I've been talking about time management and online tools and all these things. But that wasn't enough. People want and needed something that they could do. something that was easier, because not all of us have time to pull together, go hunting and searching for the right things. You wanted something you could hold on to. So last year I created, it's called, it's pretty bad when you forget the name, Tame Your Hectic Schedule and Get Things Done. And I also have the free email course that gets emailed to you. It's 5 days. It'll help you get a simple schedule in place. Boom, you're halfway there. You've got a great solid foundation. And if that's all you need, that's great. Leave me a comment and I'll get that link to you. It's also in the announcements of this group. But many people wanted more. They wanted a workbook you could work at your own pace. They wanted checklists they could check off and really help them find that solution. They wanted feedback, places you can say, hey, I'm stuck, I need help. They wanted, sometimes we just want someone to say, okay, this is my unique situation. Let's say, okay, I'll use myself an example. I work outside the home for a boss. I work at home for myself. I also work at home for another boss. I homeschool 2 teenagers. They have this activity and that activity. I do volunteer work. How can I fit that all into one planning system? That is what Take Charge of Your Life Mastermind and Accountability Group is. It is a 10-day intensive training. And I designed it that way because I wanted people to get what they wanted. I wanted you to be able to check in every day and have a small task, something you can do in 20 minutes or less, depending on how many times your kids or your dog interrupts you. But I also wanted you to, be able to have the video trainings that you asked for so you can see it in action and get help. Have those printable checklists and the workbook you can use over and over and over again as many times as you want. But it's more than 10 days because obviously 10 days wouldn't be very practical and unpractical. So after the 10-day intensive training, the group will stay open. And this is one of the questions I was asked yesterday. 10 days isn't long enough for me to create my schedule and test it. Don't worry. I'm going to leave the group open till the end of the month I will be there every day in the group. Other members will be there in the group to help you out, so you will not be alone. It gives you time to test it, to see what's working and what isn't. And we're going to talk about how to fix the problems that show up. I will not abandon you. After the end of November, I am going to archive the group. So what that means is the group, all the information and everything stays there. No more members will join. I won't be in the group, but you will be able to access all the information as long as you are a member of that group. Now, I discovered that the other day, last week, when I was trying to add a streaming program to Facebook, and it was like, hey, what groups? And I was like, wow, I'm in over like 60 to 100 Facebook groups. Some of them were archived, and I could still access all the information. So that's the way I'm setting that up. Plus, you can email me and Facebook message me at any time after that. So I'm not going to abandon you. One of the reasons somebody asked me, why did I create this system in the first place? How did this come into existence? So when I started going back to work, I was working pretty much full-time, especially in the last few months of the year. Things get crazy. All the activities show up. The stores stay open later. Everything is really, there's a lot of people out there, and they all seem to need to go shopping or to the library or wherever I needed to be at the same time I did. So it took 10 times longer to do anything. And I got really, really sick because I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't eating properly. I wasn't sleeping because I was so stressed out. I just started, going back to work. So I had to learn all these things. And I don't know about you, but if you have to learn something new on top of being extremely stressed out, it kind of keeps you up at night. So I don't think I'll ever forget the day that I realized something had to give. I was so sick. My family was suffering. I was standing right there and I lost it. I had a complete freak out. My poor husband was like totally shocked. He didn't know what to do or how to handle it. And at that moment, I realized something needed to give. But what was going to have to give? I didn't know what I was doing wrong, because I was trying to do all the things. So I was trying to work, I was trying to homeschool, and there are things that I couldn't give up. You know, people would say, oh, well, just quit your job. Well, I couldn't do that. Or stop homeschooling your kids. Well, that didn't fit our family. So what needed to happen is I needed to get a schedule in place. And it took me a while to pull together a schedule because I kept going out. I don't know if you guys do this, but you find the perfect planner, right? So you get really excited. This planner is going to save my life. And then it doesn't. Or you get a favorite planning system and you're really excited and you use it that first week and you fill out all the spots and you color code it like you're supposed to on Instagram and Pinterest and you're using all the pens. Not that there's anything wrong with that if it works for you. But maybe the first week you put in all this effort and it works so great. And then week 2 comes and you half fill it out. You know, you use 1 pen, maybe 2 stickers, but you get it filled out. Week 3 comes, you fill in half the week. And by the end of week 4, it's on the shelf because it's not working for you. It's not about the planner. It's about how you're using it and how you're setting it up. And our life, like I said, has so many moving parts that very few planners can handle all that. And if you do put all that in, then you just end up overwhelmed and confused and frustrated. So it took me a really long time to kind of break away from that mold of there is one way to do things. And if you know me at all, I'm really against saying there's only one way to do something because everybody's life is unique. But the system that I designed actually works with pretty much any planner. 1 second, I think my camera is sliding and I'm gonna drop it. All right, please stay. Don't go flying. Hold on. All right, you still with me? Okay. Anyways, I was rambling. So basically it took me a long time and I have tried this with so many different planners. It's worked with Homeschool Planet, online planner, totally works. It has worked with a printable planner. I love for printable planners, you know, the ones you print off and you get to choose which sheets. I love, love, love Jennifer Bly's planner. I have done it with Pam Barnhill's free planning sheets, and I'm going to show you guys how it looks for all of those. You won't have any problems with those. Oh, good. I can see it still sliding. I'm like, one of these moments is going to go ploop, and I'll lose you guys. So I'm going to try to wrap this up. And I've used it with a mix. So a paper planner that you purchase on Amazon or Michael's or whatever, and a online planner. So this system works for all of those things I know because I've tested it and tried, and I've also had other people test and try it, and they've asked questions. So this membership is about you guys getting the things that you've asked for, the support, the checklist, the extra worksheets, the extra support that you need to get through it, because I really, really, really want to help you guys get organized, really get this simple plan in place. It makes such a world of difference. And it really helps you overcome those challenges of when are you going to find time for you without the guilt? When are you going to make sure that you don't miss those appointments that you can't miss? And how are you going to do it while maintaining, well, I'd say your sanity, but how are you going to do that while maintaining your job, homeschooling your kids, taking care of your house, and still finding time for you? So those are the things we're going to be covering. Okay, so the last question someone asked me was, when does it start? So it starts next Monday, November 11th. We'll have day 1. You can find more information in the link that's somewhere in this description. I think it's above me. Oh, and who is this for? Okay, so this is for people who are willing to put in the work. So, yes, long gone. We lost that ages ago. This is for people who are willing to put in the work. So you can read something, but if you don't do the work, it's not going to work for you. It's like buying that perfect planner. If you never use it, you can't really say, well, that planner sucks because you didn't use it. Of course it didn't work for you. It's on the shelf. So, or you know, when you put all the time and effort into making a meal and you put it on the table and your kids don't eat it and they're hungry, it's not benefiting them because they're not eating it. So if you don't want to put the work in place to get your schedule, I don't recommend this for you. It will take some time. It takes about 20 minutes, depending on, as I said, how many interruptions you have. I have this stuff before. Everything's laid out in a very logical to me kind of way. But if you're stuck, you can reach out and ask me, and I'll be there to help you. All right, I think I've answered everybody's questions. If I haven't, please, please, please leave them below. Tag me because Facebook is funny. And I hope you have a great day. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for hanging out with me.